All meditation practices are, at their core, methods to lift our consciousness beyond the everyday chatter of our minds. They're about shifting from a restless, always-on thinking mode to a state of pure, undisturbed awareness, a state sometimes called no mind. Ancient mystics even describe this as the death of the mind, where the endless inner dialogue finally goes silent. Imagine this: a state where there's no mental clutter, no indecision, no conflicting thoughts, just one uninterrupted moment of clarity. In that split second, if you manage to tap into your inner potential without even the tiniest flicker of thought, you've essentially unlocked certainty. It's as if in that fleeting moment you catch a glimpse of something divine, like seeing the hidden threads woven into every fiber of your being. Let me tell you a wild story from a far-off town in Russia. A well-known Western mystic was teaching his disciples a meditation technique he liked to call the exercise of Halt. The rule was simple. Whenever he shouted "stop," every single person had to freeze instantly. Whether you were mid-step, mid-sentence, or even mid-blink, you had to hold that exact position. No moving an inch until further notice. Think of it as the ultimate game of freeze tag with very high stakes. On one crisp morning, this mystic had gathered his students in a small tent by a canal. Now, the canal was dry, nothing to worry about, right? Suddenly, from inside the tent, he bellowed, "Stop!" At that very moment, 3 disciples, who were in the process of crossing the canal, froze in place. Everyone halted exactly where they were. Then, cue dramatic twist, someone opened the canal gates. Water started rushing in like a surprise flash mob. One disciple, peeking at the incoming water, panicked. "The master is in the tent. What if he doesn't know we're in trouble? If I stay put, I might drown." So, in a split-second decision fueled by pure survival instinct and a bit of classic overthinking, he leaped out of the water. The second disciple hesitated, thinking maybe the master would call off the exercise any moment now. But as the water crept higher, eventually threatening to swallow him up, he too decided that risking his life was not part of the curriculum and jumped out. Now here's where things get really interesting. The third disciple had already mentally committed to the challenge. He thought, no matter what, stay or die, I'm not moving an inch. As the water climbed steadily, reaching his neck and then his face, he simply held his ground. Eventually, he vanished beneath the surging current. At that point, the mystic dashed out of his tent, leaped into the canal, and pulled the third disciple from the water. Though the poor guy was knocked out and had swallowed a whole lot of canal water, which needless to say wasn't on his morning yoga menu, he soon regained consciousness. In a moment of profound clarity and perhaps a bit of surprise at his own survival, he immediately placed his head at the mystic's feet and declared, "I've learned everything I needed to know." The mystic, with a calm yet knowing smile, asked, "So, what did you experience?" The disciple replied, "I realized that as long as even a flicker of thought was buzzing inside me, questioning whether to jump or stay, the mind was still in control. But when I let go completely, when I surrendered every last thought, I touched a state of complete stillness. In that moment, whether I survived or not didn't matter. I had discovered something eternal." True meditation isn't about battling your thoughts or fretting over every little decision. It's about pushing beyond that constant inner noise until you reach a state where your mind is utterly silent. A state where no hesitation, conflict, or fear can disturb you, even if that state comes with a side of adrenaline or even a near-death experience. It's in that ultimate stillness that you find a glimpse of the timeless, unshakable truth. So next time you're meditating, ask yourself, are you just playing mental freeze tag, or are you really ready to stop, Let go and see what lies beyond the chatter. It might just be the most liberating leap you ever take.